This is Secret America.
Welcome, everybody. I am Jack Danger along with Jay Gatling. And by now, I'm sure you guys are tired of the Nick Fuentes thing. But I got one last quick video I want to show you because it is hilarious, man. I got to show it just because it's hilarious. If it wasn't hilarious, I wouldn't show it because I think we're all tired of this shit by now. But it's so damn funny. You guys have got to see this. Okay. So I'm sure you've seen everything that Nick Fuentes did to that poor woman, but you haven't seen the half of it. There is much more that he has done to that poor woman that you don't even know about. Okay. So I'm going to show you.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. It's terrible. It's terrible. All right. So I'm going to show you exactly what he has done. It's so sad what he did to that poor woman. Let me remove this. I want everybody to be able to see this stuff. All right. Here we go.
Hi.
Wait a minute.
Oh,
I don't hear anything.
He gave her a body shot. I heard it. Yeah.
Oh, that's odd. I can't hear anything. Oh, great. It's doing that bullshit again. All right.
Hi.
Body. Head. Combination. Oh, spin kick.
Finish her.
Oh, there it is. The ladder.
Yeah, see, he's beating her with the bat. That's terrible.
God. That
is horrible. Look what he's doing to her.
I see it. And you know what though? She's
Look, he goes and gets the car and he runs her
over.
over.
I mean, I can't believe she got up after that.
Target marked.
Well, look what else
hammer.
he's got.
Over.
He's got drones.
Oh my God.
Look at this.
Wow.
I can't believe. Oh,
man, he shot him. Jesus. All right. You know what? Okay. That's it.
Wow. What's he doing? Oh, my God.
This is
Nick.
My God.
Whoa, he threw her into the pits of hell.
Lava pit? No, the pits of hell.
Wow. I cannot believe she survived that, Jay. I mean, that's a miracle in and of itself, if you want the truth.
You know what, though? Jack, after all of that, they're the groper groupies that would say he didn't do anything wrong.
Oh, yeah, no. He threw her into the pits of hell, but he didn't do anything wrong.
I have been getting on my post, forget about your post, which was like 2 million, 3 million views, whatever. Mine was, probably, 50, 60,000.
That's really good.
Yeah, it's good.
It's hard to get that much.
But, it's ratioed because his whole, the groper groupies, I mean, and I'm talking, there are some smart people that I know who came in there. Well, she was a stalker. I said, well, then why would you open your door for a stalker?
Not only that, but what's funny to me, Jay, is that every single one of these people are like, oh, who cares if she's a female? It doesn't matter. He can beat her if she's a female. I'm thinking, what happened to the days where you can't beat on a female? Now, if it's Nick Fuentes, he can beat the shit out of her.
You know what? I mean, what is it? The whole equal rights, equal lefts thing? Okay. Yeah. If you're getting beaten by a woman, or if a woman is coming after you beating her, first of all, most men can restrain a woman without having to beat her to death.
Well, but I'll tell you one thing. If a woman hits me, I'm gonna hit her like a man. If she hits me, I will sock her right in the teeth. But other than that, I'm not gonna touch a woman.
No. I mean, I would say what you just said is reasonable for a lot of people to say, okay, it's also reasonable to say, I'm going to try to restrain her before I have to resort to that. But if I'm getting beaten by a woman or punched in the face, I'm going to do what I have to do to stop her.
Well, like when a woman slaps a man when she's angry, okay? Right. I'm sorry, but if you want equality means I punch you right in the fucking teeth. So if you slap me, I'm not going to do what I would do to a man, which is tackle you and beat the hell out of you. I'll just punch you one time, just a stinger, but don't hit me. That's the thing. That's the key right there. I'm not going to punch you first because you're a female. Don't hit me.
Yeah, I don't.
She did not hit him.
No, she didn't. She didn't do it. She wasn't aggressive towards him in the least. Not in the least. Well, she had her phone like this and she said hi. Yeah. But no, the whole thing with women hitting first. No, women, you should not be striking men and not expecting men to hit you back. That's a stupid thing to do. You shouldn't do that. That's the bottom line. So nobody should be just hitting anybody for no reason. And if you hit somebody, whether you're a man or a woman, you should expect to get hit back. How about that?
You'd think so, but back in the day, you weren't allowed to do that because they could scream that you were beating them and you would get arrested. Women used to what they used to do was provoke men by punching them, slapping them, and then if they got hit one time, that man spends the night in jail.
Well, listen to this, Jack. I'll be honest with you. When I was trained in the NYPD, and this is going on 30 years ago almost now. They taught primary aggressor when it came to domestic disputes. Primary aggressor. So it wasn't just, the man gets arrested. They said, no.
That's a rare thing, especially back then.
No, they said you figure out who the primary aggressor is. If it's the primary aggressor is the woman, then you deal with it accordingly. But so it wasn't just automatic even back then. But I know what you're saying, that yes, but now, Jack, everything's on camera, right? So you really can't get, even if you're in a bar, if you're on the street, you really can't. If you're going to do something, people are going to find out pretty much what happened eventually. So if women are going to, as I said, if you are going to play that game, chances are you're going to get found out. So here's the best advice. Don't hit anyone, man or woman, and this goes for both men and women. Don't hit anyone if you don't want to get hit back. That's all.
I mean, that is, the way that it should be, but for some reason it doesn't seem, I mean, at least, up until recently, it didn't used to be that way. That, like I said, they would provoke you and, until you went to jail. But that's really the toxic relationships where they would do that all the time. Where, it would be all the time thing that they would call law enforcement. He hit me for, he hit me, yada, yada, yada. It was an all the time thing.
Yeah. Those couples are made for each other.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's what they would say. Anyway, they would say, no, don't actually take him to jail. I didn't mean it.
Right. Right. Or you'll see it all the time. Like we'll see the police videos. And I've been involved in situations like this personally, where you will be arresting the man. The woman called you. You now try to place the man under arrest for an assault or whatever he did. And then, no, please don't. And then they end up getting arrested for trying to stop me from placing him under arrest.
Yeah.
You can't make it up. But
it doesn't make any sense. I don't know, man. It's strange stuff. But anyways, let's I want to show everybody something that it's a horrifying video. Okay. What it is it shows it shows San Francisco the way everybody imagines it would be, and it's real. This is a real video. This is not AI. It's not something that, that is fake. It actually shows San Francisco the way people think it is, because it is the way it is. And you'll see it in just a second. It's very, very. So, yeah, let me go ahead and play that real quick because I want you to see this, Jay. And again, for some reason, I don't know why it does this once in a while, but for some reason, I cannot hear the audio on the video. So I don't know if it's loud, if they're screaming, let me know. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know why the hell it does that once in a while, but it does. It's, weird stuff. Okay. Let me pull this up. I want you to see, this is insanity, man. And people, this is real. Again, this is real. And it's going to scare you. Because if you've ever been to San Francisco before, it used to be a fun, awesome place, especially in the 60s, the 70s, all the way through. I mean, even Full House made you want to go to San Francisco, but not anymore. Not anymore. Take a look at this. You want to see San Francisco? This is the new San Francisco as it is today.
The zombies. There you go.
By the way, they are taking drugs, which is usually fentanyl, that makes them to where they're literally passed out while they're standing up. This is real.
Youngster, pull your pants up. Pull them up.
This is 100% real.
American city.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's a drug mecca now for crack
and crystal.
Fentanyl and crystal. That's what they're taking. They take fentanyl, which makes them pass out while they're standing up.
Sacramento and Placerville.
And they look like zombies.
What city are you from? Washington.
And they come from all around the world to go to San Francisco for this shit.
San Francisco from different states or cities. What made y'all decide to stay in
My
San
God, I could feel the tuberculosis through the screen.
You said it a minute ago.
Oh, man, it's horrible, dude. It's horrible. But see what they're saying? There's more money and there's more opportunities. Again, I can't hear what they're saying. I'm just reading the audio. But they are reading the subtitles. But there's more. It says there's more money and more opportunities. That's for homeless and drug-addicted people. That is for homeless and drug. If you're drug addicted, they will give you free needles. They will give you safe places to inject yourself. They will give you safe places to smoke. They will give you safe places to drink, whatever you want to do. They will actually give you money. Jay, this is the God's honest truth. I want everybody to look this up if you want to, if you think I'm lying. They will actually give you money for alcohol. That's the God's honest truth. You can go look it up in San Francisco. They will give you alcohol, free alcohol if you are a homeless alcoholic. So that way you don't die from withdrawals. They will give you free alcohol. And that's why you see everybody from all over. And this is why you never want your city to start tackling the homeless crisis, tackling the drug crisis. Why? Because then every drug addict, every homeless person around the country will flock to your city, and your city will be San Francisco, will be Philadelphia, will be Chicago. You don't want to live like that. I can promise you that.
Baltimore. This isn't compassion. This is
it's sickness.
It's sick. Ugh. It's cruel. These people belong in rehabs. Now, if you're going to spend the money, spend it on that. Getting into a treatment center, trying to get them, off of this stuff as best you can. Not just keep giving. This is amazing that this is an American major city, San Francisco. And as you said, used to be probably one of the most beautiful places you could go when you used to see it, like you said, back on those TV shows, back on a show I used to watch called Too Close for Comfort way back in the day. I believe it was in San Francisco, and they always showed a Golden Gate Bridge. It's sickening. But Gavin Newsom and Nancy Pelosi, is it Nancy Pelosi's district, Jack? Do we know?
Yeah.
I mean,
she used to be mayor, I think, also.
Yeah. I mean, it's just incredible. This woman has been in Congress for decades. That's her home district, or near her home district, or surrounding her district. And this is what's going on, and nobody talks about it. It's really beyond comprehension that this is going on in America in major cities. It shouldn't go on anywhere. This isn't some backwoods, they always say white trash. No, this isn't there. This is San Francisco, probably one of the wealthiest, or used to be one of the wealthiest cities in the world.
Not anymore. Yeah, everybody's moved out of there. It's no longer Silicon Valley like it used to be. Everybody's moved out of there. Apparently, I mean, there's a lot going on right now. Apparently, Spirit Airlines is about to shut down for good. Yeah, is apparently what's happening.
Yeah, the Greyhound of the skies.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for people that have no money, it's the only way you're going to get across country, but it's going to shut down because there was apparently supposed to be a $500 million government bailout that failed as the discount carrier ran too low on cash. So Spirit Airlines is going to be shut down soon, if not already. So that's a blow. I mean, don't get me wrong. It sucks. It sucks because you're crammed in there like cattle. No. But if you need to get somewhere quickly and you don't have a lot of money, that's really your only option, I would say.
I'm glad it's not being bailed out. I was consistent. I didn't want General Motors back in the great financial crisis, whatever it was. I didn't want them bailed out. I said, this is called capitalism. Let somebody who actually knows how to run the damn company take it over and make it work. I don't want the government.
Companies should not be bailed out by the government.
Absolutely not. I totally agree with you. That's what I said back then, and I don't want them being bailed out now. So I'm glad it failed. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, I mean, if you can't run your business properly, you would not be running low on cash if you did what you were supposed to do. If you spent the money wisely, if you hired the right people, you would not be running low on cash because you can't be a business and consistently lose money. So it's your own fault, especially with as cheap as they did everything. I'm not talking about the flight cost. I'm talking about cramming everybody in there as cattle, not giving them any meals, just one drink of water, probably no bathrooms on the plane if you want the truth. I don't know. But I'm saying that as cheap as they were about everything, they should have been swimming in cash, but they're not. They're low on cash. They probably spent it, on hookers, or how it goes.
Well, who knows? So they were running it like a government operation because the government is actually the only people that are allowed to run things and lose money and have no consequences. Our money. So I'm glad that our money isn't going to another failure, Spirit Airlines. And like I said, maybe somebody else from the private sector will come in and bail them out and actually run it right and make some money. But that's how it should work. The government shouldn't be bailing out businesses because they suck and they don't know what the hell they're doing. That's just my opinion. And I'm not an economist or anything, but just my opinion from a layman.
No, you're absolutely right. That's not it shouldn't be like that. Get this, man. And I'm just spitting out stuff right now because this is just interesting stuff that I want people to hear. By the way, Spirit Airlines is expected to cease all operations at 3 a.m. Saturday morning. So Spirit Airlines is going to be gone 3 a.m. This coming morning. So you can forget about your ticket if you have a ticket on Spirit Airlines past 3 a.m.
Or you could look at it this way, Jack. You have a chance for one more ride on an airplane or ticket counter before 3 a.m. One last chance.
Just what everybody wants, right?
Yeah. One last chance.
So let me tell you something interesting. You remember how GameStop was, on its last legs, but then everybody pushed it. I'm talking about the people, the grassroots people pushed it to where it made a lot of money for everybody. I actually, believe it or not, got in on that GameStop thing, and we made some money for as high as GameStop went. I got in on that, and I also got in on the movie theater one as well, the AMC or whatever the hell it was. Yeah. They both went up high. We were like, pew! But that was a long time ago.
That was now 2020, around 2020.
Yeah, it was a long time. That was
during
ago.
COVID when all the retail jumped in and everything went crazy.
But get this, GameStop is now at the position where they are making a bid for eBay as part of an ambitious push to transform itself into a $100 billion powerhouse. They are actually making a bid for eBay, and eBay is a great business, big business.
Yeah, we'll see. Their stock rose, I believe, in after hours 9% after that announcement was made, and let's see if GameStop can actually become a real company and not just like a meme stock that when Roaring Kitty comes back that it takes off, or he says something and it takes off.
Hey, it made a lot of money for a lot of people. I'll tell you that much.
But a lot of people held on for way too long and lost a lot of money too.
Whoever held on, when it skyrockets, when you see something skyrocket like that, you don't want to hold on to it and hope it skyrockets more. Take what you got and be happy with it. People that hold on to it too long, they end up losing everything.
Exactly. No, a lot of people held on way too long. It was that whole thing, stick it to the man. I remember when it was going on, and people, I'm not selling.
That's why we did it, because they were all shorting. They were all trying to short GameStop, and since they were trying to short GameStop and screw GameStop and make it, crash, we all put in as much. We all bought as much as we could, put in as much capital as we could to push the price up high, so everybody that's tried to short it lost all their money.
Yeah, and it held on for a little bit, and then what happened? The big, the hedge funds and everybody else, they end up winning. They're always going to win.
Well, they got all the money, They got all the money. We won for a little while. I'll tell you that much. We for a little while, we made a lot of those people lose a lot of money.
Yeah, that's true. It lasted think about a week or so. I remember it, maybe week and a half, 2 weeks.
And usually on shorts, you have to do, you get the margin call. You have to, buy back shorts at the end of the day.
That's why usually it was a short squeeze.
Yeah, at the end of the trading days, usually when you have to give them back the shares that you used, you have to buy back the shares, whatever you got, and that's why I said they lost a lot of money. For people that don't know, when you short a company, you borrow shares and say it's at $50, right? And you think it's going to go down to like $30, so you borrow millions of shares from somebody, some entity, and then it goes down to 30. Right? Or you sell them at 50. When you get them, you sell them at 50. It goes down to 30. You buy them all back, give it back to them. You just made a huge profit because you sold them all at 50, bought them all back at 30. So you got $20 per share profit. That is shorting a company. And we were able to crash a lot of big hedge funds when they tried to do that to GameStop, at least for a little while. I mean, they have all the money, so we can't keep it up forever. But, believe it or not, the grassroots thing worked really well, to, take a little chunk out of them.
Yeah, I remember during that, there was a bunch of times where they would halt the stock, they stopped trading it.
Yeah, it was too volatile. They kept saying they're not trading anymore, too volatile. I was like, well, whatever.
Yeah, I remember Stock Mom stayed home, I think, and didn't move for like 2 weeks. She was in front of her. She was literally in front of her computer for like 2 weeks straight. I don't think she went to sleep. Maybe the market closed. She slept for a couple hours and then got right back up.
Hey, it was a great time, man. It was a great time because we were able to make, like I said, we were able to make the hedge funds lose a lot of money while we were making a lot of money. And then we did the same thing with AME. Same thing with the movie theater. So it helped a lot anyway. But that was
we're talking about the GameStop and in 2020. See, she heard a name and came in the room, Jack. I had it.
Oh yeah. But yeah, it was awesome. We were able to do that, and that was a lot of fun. So yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. That was it was awesome. It was a cool thing.
Probably never happen again. Not to that level.
No, that level was massive because in order to get it to that level, you either have to have billions of dollars or you have to have tons of people do it at the same time.
Right.
And we had tons of people do it at the same time,
right.
And that's why it worked.
Everybody was home. Nobody was working.
Everybody, yeah. That's why it worked, because everybody was home.
Everybody. That's kind of why. Listen, that's kind of why the stock market isn't what it is, different than what it was, before that. It's never going to go back to what it used to be because a lot of people, they were home. Said, "Oh, let's go into the stock market. I'm not working. I'm not getting. Let me see if I can make some money in the stock market." And that's how all these people got involved in the stock market. And it's never really been the same since. There's a lot more people interested. There's a lot more people involved every day. But, you know, as we just said, retail will never, ever be able to overtake the smart money. But it is what it is. But again, that'll never happen again. They'll never let it happen again. Let's put it that way.
No, they'll never let it happen again. Never, ever. All right, Jay, I want to show people the real part. For people that don't know, the Ukraine war is still happening. It is still going on, you know, and just because your government suddenly doesn't give a damn about it, you know, after they gave billions and billions, probably trillions of dollars to it, it's still going on. I want to show you guys what's happening. Now, Ukraine, and Zelensky is a dictator, by the way. He canceled the elections so he could stay in power. And let me tell you, do you know how a dictator stays in power, Jay, besides canceling elections?
Yeah, by just having a war.
In a state of war. Yeah,
I just said having a war.
You stay in a state of war. Why do you think he's not doing a ceasefire? Let me show you. I want to show the world right now what he is doing instead of a ceasefire. Since he doesn't have enough manpower, a lot of people are dying in this war from Ukraine. He does not have enough manpower. So let me show you what's going on here. I want everybody to see this. This is what's going on. Okay, this is a video right here of Zelensky's army recruiters. They are actually kidnapping men, grown men, and conscripting them into the military. They are sending them to the front lines to die. Okay, this is exactly what is happening. You'll hear shots fired because they actually shoot shots at the parents trying to stop them from kidnapping their 18, 19-year-old kids. Take a watch and listen to this. You can see that guy running away so he doesn't have to go. Okay, imagine, I want you guys to imagine this, okay? Imagine the U.S. military has a draft. All right. And eventually we run out. I mean, there's been so many people that have been killed in the military that they are going around. They have military recruiters going around in white vans, kidnapping people off the streets and sending them to the front lines to die. That is exactly what is happening in Ukraine right now. It's been happening for a couple of years, actually. And it is, I mean, I'm just trying to show it to everybody. They are kidnapping their own citizens, forcing them to the front lines to die.
Yeah, they're conscripting them. I mean, I remember when that whole famous scene in the Oval Office with J.D. Vance, President Trump, and Zelensky, when J.D. Vance said, "You're conscripting your citizens." What do you mean? You're not winning. You're not winning right now. You're conscripting people to come into your military because you're running out of bodies.
No, conscripting is it's a thesaurus word made to make it sound less worse than it is. It is kidnapping.
Yeah. How about let's come up with a word? Conscripting.
No, it is kidnapping. They are kidnapping these people and sending them to their death.
And you're right. It's been going on for a couple of years because that was almost a couple of years ago already, believe it or not. But before that, yeah, there were videos also where you see these vans pull up and these people just like working, I think, in like a field, and they just run and grab them and then drag them into the van. I mean, it's insanity. Yeah, you're right. That's kidnapping. They call it, right, conscripting, but they're kidnapping. 100% correct.
And they're sending them to their death is what they're doing.
Yeah, they're probably just putting them up there as shields almost, for God's sake, just to take some bullets on the front line. It's sick. But I don't know, man. That war, and you're right, Zelensky doesn't want it to end, like you said, because if it ends, then there's going to be an election, and he's going to be voted out.
That's why there's no peace talks. That's why he will kidnap and send every single male. He will start kidnapping elderly men and sending them to their death, and then women and sending them to their death if he has to keep this war going. There will be no peace talks.
And Putin's fine with that. Putin doesn't care.
But I can tell you right now, Jay, if this war ends, Zelensky will be hung. He will have to leave the country. He will be killed.
No, I think probably he probably had a window back maybe in the beginning of President Trump's term here where he might have had a chance to give it up and then be sent somewhere just to live out the rest of his days very nicely. But I think that window's closed at this point.
Oh no, he will be killed. If the war ever ends, he will be actually killed. They will kill him.
And like I said, Putin has, as long as Zelensky wants to keep going, I don't think Putin's going to care. He's going to keep going too. That's what I think.
Yeah, and Zelensky wants to keep going, like I said, because they're going to kill him. As long as the war is going, he can have soldiers protecting him. But once the war is over, oh man, they will hang it. They will tar and feather him in the streets. He will be the next. He will be the next Gaddafi, if you want the truth.
He would, for his probably best case scenario was that he'd be the next Maduro. But like I said, I don't even know if he's going to get that at this point.
No, he won't get that kind of treatment. No. Maduro might have been bad to his citizens, but this guy is kidnapping and sending people to their death. He's got the government kidnapping their children. No. This man will get everything that's coming to him at some point. Can't keep the war going forever. At some point, he will get everything that's coming to him. And I would personally like to be the person that lets go of the guillotine, that ties the rope knot, whatever it is.
Well, is this going on in do we know that this, Russia's also lost a ton of people. We know this, both sides.
But they have an immense amount of people.
They just have more people. But have they started conscripting or kidnapping yet? Do we know?
They don't need to. No, they don't need to. They've got, not only do they have so many people, but they have far more superior firepower, such as more drones, more everything, to where they use less people, Yeah.
No, listen, I don't know. Maybe this ends when maybe the people get sick and tired. Maybe stuff like this will make them sick and tired and go in and say, we're done. You're out, or we're going to storm the castles, so to speak. And maybe that's
let me tell you,
I don't know.
He's going to kidnap the wrong person, and eventually a father is going to, go and put a bullet in his head. His son, he's going to be killed. I'm telling you that right. I can promise you, Zelensky will not be alive within the next 10 years. I can promise you that.
Or his body double.
Yeah, I can't believe we saw that. That was real, by the way, for anybody that's watching and didn't see that episode. That was his actual body double, wearing the same thing, same facial hair, same hair color, same outfit. It was insane.
Yep, that was crazy.
It was real.
Then they're standing like 10 feet away from each other.
It was crazy as
hell. It's like a movie set when you see a stunt double, like that. It was that blatant.
Yep. That was weird. All right, everybody. So get this. Apparently now the red states have started redrawing their lines, Jay. They started redrawing the lines. You got Alabama starting first. After the whole thing. Actually, you know what? Before we talk about this, Jay, real quick, I want to mention our sponsor real quick. I want to mention Max Associates. .etsy.com. They are an excellent sponsor. They have the best USA Pride gifts and patriotic apparel. I'm going to put their QR code up here in the top right. Guys, we've told you about this before. You definitely want to check them out, because no matter what you want, if you want some kind of apparel or mug or flag or whatever it is that shows where you stand or your USA Pride, this is the place to go. Because if you go somewhere else, you can get anything you want somewhere else. You can get it at Max Associates. But if you go somewhere else, you're not going to get the deal that you would get at Max Associates. Jay, tell them about the deal. You can't get it anywhere else.
Well, the deal is this. It's 20% off over anything over $20. Free shipping throughout the entire United States for all of the stuff. It is incredible deal. You can't beat that. $20 is a very low threshold to get something like that. Plus 20% off, free shipping. It's unheard of. Look at the stuff. Look at this stuff on the banner: bags, shirts, phone cover, cell phone covers, mugs, flags. Jack had bought a flag. I bought my wife an awesome shirt that we put a picture up of the other day. It's great stuff. It speaks to who you are. It's patriotic as hell. And listen, it's the 250th anniversary of this country. There is no better time to get on maxassociates.etsy.com and get some stuff right now.
Absolutely. And like we said, if you're thinking about getting anything, any kind of patriotic apparel, you might as well check Max Associates first, because you get 20% off and free shipping. I can promise you, you're not going to get that deal anywhere else. Visit maxassociates.etsy.com. You will not regret it. I can promise you that much. Jay, like we said before, they are redrawing the lines right now. It's actually really cool. Okay, you got Alabama has started redrawing their lines thanks to the Supreme Court decision that struck down racial gerrymandering. Okay, and since the Democrats can no longer do that, they are in line to lose 19 House seats. That would be a massive majority for Republicans. All we have to do is redraw the lines, and Alabama has begun.
Absolutely. This is what we're talking about. Republicans play the game and win. Play the game better than them. That's what we're finally starting to do. And I will commend Governor Landry of Louisiana for bringing this lawsuit, and we won. And it's huge because now you said Alabama. I think there's other states that are going to jump on board. They're going to jump on the bandwagon now because Governor Landry took the lead on it. You got to give him credit for that. And I saw this funny post today, Jack, and it's related to this. Some wacko puts up a picture of the Supreme Court, and he shows Kagan, Sotomayor, and Ketanji Brown Jackson, regular black robe, but then the rest of them are all wearing Klan outfits.
Of course.
Right. But I'm saying,
even
wait a minute.
Black guy?
What's that?
Even the black guy?
Of course. Clarence Thomas is racist against black people, even though he's black. But right. They're all wearing Klan outfits. And I commented, I said, wait, what happened? Did I miss something? Did the Democrats already pack the Supreme Court? Because Jack, who started
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Who started the Klan, Jack?
The Democrats actually have, if you go back through history, the Democrats have started every race-based policy in American history.
Who started the Klan? I said, this is great. I'm like, you guys already packed the Supreme Court. I'm like, it's just amazing how lost and these people are, but they're in panic. They're flailing. Hakeem Jeffries is crashing out over this. If all these states do what they're supposed to do, which is now, quite honestly, you're following the law. So follow the law, and Republicans should have 19 to 20 seats. Let's go.
Absolutely. That's all you have to do. I mean, the Republicans are already, they're weak, they're spineless, but this is easy. I mean, I know you guys don't want to do anything, but at least do this for your citizens. I mean, my God.
Like I said, all you're doing is following the law. You're not doing, that's all you're doing. If you don't do it, you're actually not, if you don't do it, Jack, you're breaking the law. So Republican governors, you're actually obligated to do this. Follow the law. Let's go.
Yeah, well, even though they still don't want to do it. So let me tell you that. They still do not want to do it.
I don't care if they want to or not. Do it.
You think they should? Well, let me tell you something, Jay. I want to show you something interesting here, okay?
Yeah.
Remember those 15 stolen drones that we talked about? I mean, those things had like 40 gallons. They could carry, each one of them could carry 40 gallons of like chemical agents from some other country, could put, like Agent Orange or any kind of horrible thing in there and spray them in all the major cities if they wanted. There was 15 of them, Jay. Well, apparently ICE is the one that has recovered these stolen drones. Every single one of them were recovered in New Jersey by ICE and Homeland Security. And, that's pretty amazing. But I don't think people realize the kind of disaster this could have taken a turn if the person, whoever stole them, used them. Now, the funny thing is you don't hear about who stole them. It doesn't say anything about who stole them or how they got them back.
I think they got them back. I was reading a little bit about it, and it was some elaborate scheme of how this was done, like through
it's called Operation Secure Skies is what it was.
Well, they got it back, and once they found out that they were missing, they actually did right away put a big alert out on it because they knew.
Well, yeah, but it still took them over a month to,
Listen, I'll take it. You think under Biden's FBI or ICE this would have been found? I doubt it.
No, but it's amazing that they found them and nothing happened. But see, the thing is, the reason I wanted to highlight that is because I don't think people realize the danger that a 40-gallon drone that can hold 40 gallons of chemical agent can cause.
Oh my God.
That can wipe out an entire city worth of people.
They tell you when they're spraying for West Nile virus not to be around a certain radius, and it's because it's that dangerous. Imagine what these things could have done. Are you kidding me? Like you said, wiped out entire, I don't know, a city how big? New York City, maybe a borough of New York City, maybe a portion of a borough of New York City. Probably. Yeah. Could have caused a lot of problems, made a lot of people sick, and killed a lot of people. I mean, it's horrible. But thank God they found them.
Interesting, Jay?
And let's make sure this doesn't happen again and find out who did it and arrest them.
That's the thing. They haven't said anything about that. But you know what's interesting, Jay? This morning when I woke up, apparently a Republican candidate was killed.
Yeah,
it's very interesting. His name is Barry Christensen. And what happened was, first of all, there's no cause of death released at the moment. What happened was they found his truck abandoned in a wildlife area. And then he was found a short while later, a little further away, but he had gone missing was the thing. He went missing. He missed a scheduled meeting. His truck was found abandoned, and then his body was found in a remote area. And this is a Republican candidate who, from what I understand, was the leader to win Oklahoma State Senate where he was, and then probably go a lot further from what I understand. But there are no clear answers, no cause release, no indication of what really happened. Nobody knows. And then, you know, even the daughter said some eerie shit. Nobody knows what's going on here, Jay.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you need answers and you can't stop asking questions or else it'll just go away if they wanted to. So
exactly,
you know, keep asking questions, stay on it. It just happened, right? So we're not going to say, oh my God, what the hell's taking so long? No, we're not saying that. But we're saying, let's get to the bottom of this, please. Could be nothing. Could very well be nothing. Could be he drove out there to clear his head and he had a heart attack. Who knows? We don't. But let's find out what happened. Let's not be, let this just be swept under the rug. And, oh, remember that guy? Yeah, by then, it's too late. It's gone. So whatever evidence you might have had, gone. You're never going to get the truth. So this is one of those things. We know about it. And in this day and age, you're going to know about it. Let's not let it go away because listen, anytime a politician or somebody running for office that people think might have had a chance to win or might have made an impact and all of a sudden something like this happens, you got to ask the questions. We're not saying that it's something nefarious, but you got to find out.
Absolutely. You don't know if it's, something nefarious or not. And it sure seems like it is. I mean, I'm not going to say it is, but it sure seems like it is. Very, very interesting. I want to show you something. You know how insane people are these days?
Yes.
You know, even cops, they don't, I mean, a lot of the cops don't want to do shit, you know, and no offense to you, Jay, but this is the here and the now. A lot of cops don't want to do shit. I want to show you something, Jay. I have a video of a man on drugs. Okay. He's walking the streets at a stoplight in California. Okay. He walks right up to a California Highway Patrol vehicle, attempts to open the door and enter the vehicle. The CPH officers don't arrest him. They just drive away like nothing happened. And then the man was free to enter another vehicle if he wanted to. And I think that has a lot to do with their soft on crime policies. But I want you to see this because this is not something that you would see every day. What would a police officer do in a normal situation like that? Is it loud?
Yeah, it's lowered a little bit.
All right, let's turn it down. Here you go.
That's good.
Look at this. Look, he tries to enter the look, all they do is move up. That's all they do. What is that?
Guys,
let's look at that again. Look, he tries to open the passenger side door. Look at this. He's pulling on it. They just move up, and he's like, I'm going to go get in the next car. What the hell is this, Jay? I mean, what is wrong with law enforcement nowadays? Why are they like this?
Well, I don't want to broad brush and say they. In this case, I think that was wrong. I wouldn't be doing that if I'm in that car.
I gotta say, it's
what the hell's going on with that guy.
I don't mean to broad brush every cop. Obviously, there's never a universal rule or universal something. But I gotta say, the lax attitude with cops these days. You saw it with the Secret Service. You see it with Trump.
Hold on.
It's everywhere.
Okay. I'll separate.
You saw it with the cop that fell asleep in front of the White House. There's a lax attitude among police these days.
Those are different to me. This is because here's what I'll talk about those too. This is, I don't want to do anything because I don't want to even bother with this guy because if I have to beat this guy up, I don't want to get in trouble or something. Maybe that's what's going through his head.
He's free to go possibly kill somebody else.
Yeah, Jack, I don't agree with it. I think it's ridiculous. If I'm in that car, I don't know if it was a partner, if it was in that car by himself or whatever, but if you aren't by yourself, call for backup and say, I got a guy walking down the street. He just tried to get into my car and he's trying to get into other cars on the street. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he's trying to carjack. I don't know if he's armed. We got to do something with him and stop him and see what the hell's going on with this guy at the very least. And he probably needs to go to the hospital because he's probably crazy. So
he was on drugs. And when I say cops, I mean, obviously, like I said, it's not every cop, and I'm not saying they're bad cops, but they have lax attitudes. I've seen so many lately that seem to just, not that they don't want to do their job, but they're just like, I'd rather not because, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why, Jay, because they know in California, they know in Washington, D.C., and they know in New York, the prosecutors are going to dismiss the charges anyway. So in a lot of cases, it's not worth the trouble. It's not worth arresting, filling out all the booking, taking them to the jail, having to do all the booking, and then have it dismissed almost immediately. That is a lot of the attitudes towards the prosecutors is actually the problem in a lot of these situations.
They're most of the problem. And it's also whenever a cop actually does something and say it doesn't turn out right or it goes sideways, they're thrown, to the wolves. And their lives are turned upside down. How many times have we seen it? Michael Brown, go down the list. George Floyd, go down the list.
Unless you kill a Republican like Michael Byrd.
Well, Michael Byrd, he's the one guy that we never got any answers on that actually should have got the treatment of
because he killed a Republican. If he would have been a Democrat, or an independent.
Exactly. But as far as like the attitude, that's part of the attitude is I'm just going to do whatever I need to just to stay in my job and not have my house taken away from me or be thrown in jail for actually trying to do the right thing. That's a problem. That's a problem. And it's because they're not backed up by their mayors. They're not backed up by the governors. And while Barack Obama or Joe Biden's in office, you're not backed up by the president of the United States. So it's a big problem. What I'd say, there's bad apples in every profession. You're going to have people that are even good apples make mistakes in every profession. And being a police officer is no different. Now, as far as what happened with the Secret Service at that checkpoint. Now, we got a real good look at the video last night. The first good look we really got at it, right? From that expanded view. There's a lot of things wrong there. I mean, the fact that they're taking down the magnetometer while this event is still going on and the president's still in the building was weird to me. What's the rush? Why are we dismantling the magnetometer? First of all, it's taking your eyes off of what you should be looking at, which is what's coming at you. Right.
And why are they doing that? Well, the president is still in there.
Exactly. I don't know. That's a problem. The people standing against the wall on the far end of the video, those are TSA agents. Now, the TSA agents were there probably to help. They're there to screen people's bags that they're probably putting through. And they're doing that because they have the experience with that. They are not armed. But the way they're standing there, they're not paying attention to anything out in front of them. They're all just sitting there very relaxed. Everybody's very nonchalant. Everybody's blasé. I get it. I've been there. But the president of the United States is in the next room. It's kind of the one event where you might want to be a little bit more aware than you might usually be at a boring thing where you're just screening bags. This is a different situation. This is a special situation. I remember when I worked POTUS details all the time, you always had that thing in the back of your head. I don't want to be the one to not see something. I don't want to be the one that somebody slipped by. So you always had that.
Nowadays, they don't seem to care about that. You saw the Washington D.C. Park Police, who's responsible for guarding the outer perimeter of the White House. You saw him sleeping while watching anime cartoons.
Ridiculous. That's the thing. There are certain. Listen, we've all been there. Where we're at a post and it's like, but if you're outside the White House, you have to know that people are going to be watching you. And by the way, it's a very important post. It's not some nonsense post that they gave you just to say, you go over there, whatever.
Exactly.
It's not. It's a very important post, especially with this president in the White House. Everybody is how many people are trying to kill.
How can you fall asleep in your police car in Washington, D.C.? You know how easy it is? Do you know how many cops that people roll up on their car windows and just shoot them in the head? That's happened many times.
Sure has.
And this guy makes it easy. All you have to do is, he's sleeping. I'd be scared.
Just for his own benefit, he shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah,
of course not.
Hell yeah. In D.C., are you kidding me? The crime capital of the world?
I'm sure I would think, Jack, that he is disciplined for what happened there.
He doesn't deserve to be fired, but he needs to have some kind of retraining of staying awake.
And he's probably going to be disciplined. If that happened to me, I'd be disciplined. I'm going to get hit with docking my vacation days, something like that. Okay. Yeah. But the whole thing, getting back to the screening point, a lot of the cops or the Secret Service that were there, they also they had the guys with the magnetometer. You had the canine. We need to know what the canine officer
said. The dog was lax. He's like, I don't care. I saw the dog. He was laying down licking his butt.
No, but the dog is probably a bomb dog. That dog but the dog, for some reason, keyed on that guy. Keyed on Cole Allen. And the canine officer, the dog was kind of interested. Like, hey, who's this guy? What's he doing? And why is he going into that closet? Who is he? That's the other thing. Who is he? Walking around into a closet that
What was he wearing? What if he was wearing like a waiter's outfit or something that made him look like he was part of the hotel staff?
But he wasn't. I mean, he was dressed in like black.
Do we know? Because I know he had a shirt off when they arrested him.
Yeah, no, I saw a photo of him. He took a selfie, and it's been published. I posted it.
What was he wearing?
He had like a black shirt, black tie. Looks like black slacks or whatever he had on.
Is that something that they had there? Something that looked like
I don't know. I don't know if he blended in with the hotel staff, but at the same time, you're 30 feet from the checkpoint where people are going in to see the president of the United States.
But if he looks like he's hotel staff and he's just going into an unsecure bar cart area room, they're not going to think anything of it. I mean, just for the lax attitude anyway, they're not going to think anything of it. If he looks like he's part of the staff.
To me, that's training and preparation for the particular event. See, anything within that area should be treated as very sensitive. Like, hey, why are you here? What are you doing here? Why are you just walking around?
That's what I'm saying, though. If you look like you're part of the staff, those questions are already answered in your own head.
I know, but that's my point. The people in that area or working that event should have been told, anybody, you question everybody who's around here. Everybody. I don't care if they look like they work here. I don't care what they look like. I don't care if they look like Paris Hilton, who owns the damn hotel. You ask them, what are you doing here right now? What is your purpose? How
weird is it that, until Reagan, I think Reagan was the last assassination attempt that I can remember. And, or Gerald Ford, maybe. I don't know if Ford was before Reagan or not.
Reagan was after Ford. And it was at the Hilton. It was at that hotel.
Yeah, so Reagan was the last one. But until then, nobody, as far as I can remember, had assassination attempt. Now, Trump's had like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, three where people were actually trying to shoot him. Yeah.
Well, I could tell you many more, like the sniper's nest at Palm Beach Airport, or the woman that was arrested while she was going across country with a gun to kill him at Washington, D.C., or the kid that killed his parents so he could get enough cash to buy weapons and go kill Trump.
That's the ones that we know about. Besides the 3 big ones that we know about, those are forget about how many we aren't told about, how many threats that they deem credible that they don't tell us about.
Well, I still question that NYPD officer who was trying to load his gun. That was weird. That ex-NYPD officer that went to the golf event that Trump was at said he was part of the security. Look, he was trying to load his gun. That I don't see any need for that. That was weird.
Well, he's actually not ex. He's on the job. He was just.
No,
I'm
saying he's an ex now.
No, I don't know that they fired him yet.
I heard they fired him.
I'll take a look at that. But
check it out.
Usually it takes a while to get fired. I don't know.
It's been like a year now, man. I think it's been like a year now.
Yeah, I know. It takes a while. What I'm saying, and he was just on leave, and he decided, I just want to go work the detail at the Ryder Cup.
Is that true though? Because he was loading his gun there, man.
I think there might have been maybe a little something going on.
It could have been. But, man, when you see somebody loading their gun in the middle of a crowded area, cops don't do that. You load it when you're starting the morning. It's already loaded when it's in your holster. You don't take it out and load the motherfucker in front of 50 people.
That's how they spotted him, because he dropped the magazine on the ground.
Or dropped the mag,
Like, what are you doing?
Drop the mag on the ground.
Right, like, what are you doing? We don't do that. Like, who are you? Why are you here? And then that's how they found out he wasn't supposed to be there. Now, I don't think that they found or thought and through the investigation found any reason to think he was there to assassinate the president. I think there just might have been something like here going on, and maybe that's why he was on leave. But if that's the case, Jack, I don't know if that weapon was even a service weapon, because usually when you're on leave for something like that, they remove that from you, obviously, or maybe they just missed one that he had in his house. I don't know.
Well, when you're on leave, they usually remove that and your shield, but he had everything. He had the whole 9.
Yeah, so maybe he was just out sick, but it's a strange thing. I don't know that he was there to assassinate the president. It was just weird. Now, normally I would say, maybe it was just there for like a photo op or something. But when the man's loading his gun, that just to me says strange, because first of all, he's not part of the security and he knows that. So why would you even worry about loading your gun? He pulls out his magazine, fully loaded, probably a 15-round double stack magazine and a Glock 19. Okay. And he loads the gun. Yeah, it's going to be 15 rounds, single. It's a single. It's
single
15
stack. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's a single stack in that one. I have that weapon. It's single. It's 15 rounds. In New
Wait a minute. What do you mean single? No. It's a 15-round double stack magazine. I have that magazine also. Yeah, it's got the single stack is long. The double stack fits inside the Glock 19. I have a Glock 19 5th generation, and it's a double stack 15 round magazine.
Mine's older.
Oh,
mine's older. No, yeah, mine's older. Mine's talking 30 years ago. But I still have it. Yeah, the whole thing was weird. And I don't know what he was doing. Maybe he was just there for a photo. Maybe just wanted to fit in. Maybe this is my chance to get close to the president, because I don't know. But
honestly, had he not been caught loading his gun, I wouldn't have thought anything of it.
No, he probably would have slipped through.
Yeah,
which is scary. Hello.
Yeah,
that's another thing. The Secret Service. Hello.
Didn't even check the list. Are you on the list? What if somebody dresses up as a Secret Service member, has the badge? You can get fake badges. What if they dress up as a Secret Service member and go in there?
That's my point that I'm making when we're talking about the people around that magnetometer. Oh, they might work. I don't care what they look like. I don't care what they're wearing. If I don't know you, I'm asking you what you're doing here. That's it. That's it. That should be the protocol. If you don't know who that person is, and you don't know that they're supposed to be working this area, you stop them and ask them what is their purpose in this area right now. It's not that difficult. So I get it. I hate Monday morning quarterbacking law enforcement. I hated it when it was done to me. But hey, that's what you sign up for. You're going to get Monday morning quarterback when things go wrong. And there could be plenty of times, and most of the times you didn't do anything wrong. It's just things went sideways because we don't live in a perfect world. But
this was egregious, though. No, this was egregious.
No, this to me, like I said, and I'm going to say, this was not good. They weren't paying attention. They weren't looking out front. They were all surprised. And I'm just amazed that nobody got, first of all, that the shooter didn't get hit. The only person that got hit was a Secret Service agent in the vest. It might have been one of the guys' uniform that shot at him.
He's very lucky that he got hit in the vest.
Very well, he's very lucky. But not only that, the crossfire situation there was a nightmare. I'm amazed that nobody got hit in the crossfire. I think
there was no ricochet or anything.
Let me tell you, by the grace of God, and then the guy tripped, and that's how they tackled him. I don't know. A lot has but
divine intervention for Donald Trump. I gotta say, the turning of the head at the last second, the guy tripping and hitting a Secret Service agent only in the vest and then being taken out because he tripped. I mean, it's just the divine intervention that is there to save Donald Trump is incredible, I must say.
That just tells me God is on his side and God wants him to do what he's doing. That's all I could say. And I'm not a holy roller. But you have to believe that there's something there protecting this man. But at the same time, how many times are we going to get lucky here? Or how many times is divine
intervention? It's not going to work forever. He's not got a shield. God did not put a shield around him. It is not going to work forever. So somebody's got to stop these things before they start.
Exactly. That's why this has to be tightened up. And I heard Sean Curran, who's the director of the Secret Service, he was one of the people at Butler, the guy with the glasses who helped.
Yeah, he's the guy in the photo. Yeah.
Right. I heard him last night. I think it was on Sean Hannity, and he didn't interview him, but it was a clip. And I think he thought everything was not so bad. I don't know if he's just saying that publicly, but maybe he's just saying it publicly, and behind closed doors, they're ripping people to shreds and doing what they got to do to get this stuff in order. But I don't like the messaging there either, though. Hey, be honest. Be like, no, we got to do better. We have to do better. Period. You have to do better. You got another chance. Do better. That's all. I'm not asking for anything else. Do better, please.
Yeah, that is really, really strange. I gotta say, it's really strange. But right now, like I said, at least the divine intervention so far has been saving him. It's actually been pretty incredible. I gotta say, Jay, our upcoming week, hopefully we're gonna have even a few more guests. But for right now, we've got some excellent guests on Wednesday. We have both one of the perpetrators and main orchestrators of the bank robberies, and we have the FBI agent who caught them from Netflix's documentary, How to Rob a Bank. This was something that happened in Seattle in the 90s. And there's a guy named Stephen Myers. He is one of the main people that robbed these banks. And then you got the FBI agent. His name's Sean. And he's the one that caught them. We are having both of them, both the perpetrator and the FBI agent, on the show together on Wednesday. It's going to be a special 2-hour episode, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday. That's going to be a lot of fun. I can promise you that. And any questions you have that night, you can put them on the chat. If you put them in the chat, we'll try to get to as many as we can because it is going to be very. Make sure you guys watch Netflix How to Rob a Bank documentary before the show on Wednesday because you're going to want to be able to ask questions and ask intelligent things. So make sure you watch that documentary. We're going to have, like I said, I mean, how rare is it to have both the person that committed the crime and the person that caught them on the same show? That doesn't happen, Jay.
Yeah, because even on the show, on the documentary, I watched it, and you guys all should watch it before the show so you're familiar with everything because it's really interesting. The backstory of everything is interesting. The backstory of the characters is interesting. But even on that show, you don't have them together. They're, you see them, but it's different clips, different settings. They're talking. We're gonna have them here, like where they can talk back. It's gonna be pretty cool. Absolutely.
It's going to be awesome where I'm going to have them, talk to each other. I'm going to see if we can do maybe a mini debate or something, see what's going on. I don't know, but it's going to be a lot of fun. I can promise you that. Our show is done spontaneously. It is not done with notes or anything like that. So, I don't know what we're going to ask or what we're going to do, but I can promise you one thing. It's going to be extremely fun and interesting, just like every show we have. And then next Friday, a week from today, we have Representative Tim Burchett. He is a ton of fun. He answers questions truthfully, honestly. He's the #1 congressman. I think he's got the #1 Liberty score of 100% or something. I don't know. But I can tell you right now, he is the most truthful, most honest man in Congress. And if you have questions for him, also put them in the chat that day as soon as the show starts, because we're going to be looking at the comments. In fact, I think for both shows, Jay, for Wednesday and Friday, we're going to put the comments on the screen. So that way, every single comment that comes through will be on the screen. So everybody, including the FBI agent and the perpetrator, can do it. And including Tim Burchett, they can all see what everybody's saying. That way, in case there's an interesting thing that they want to respond to, they can.
Yeah. And President Trump, Jack, was given, I think he was talking about the UFOs today. So that we have a lot of questions.
Maybe keep talking and talking. Just release the damn shit. Stop saying, "Oh, it's going to be a release disclosure." Just release the fucking shit already.
Well,
I mean, come on.
Actually, don't. And maybe he can give us some inside information when he comes on.
Well, I don't think it'll be released anytime soon. So we're going to get some inside information from Tim Burchett on Friday. It's going to be a lot of fun. Guys, make sure you check out maxassociates.etsy.com. You will not regret it. It is the #1 place to get USA Pride gifts and patriotic apparel. You can scan the QR code at the top right, or you can go to maxassociates.etsy.com. Now is the time to show where you are, where you stand in America, because there's a cultural war going on, a cultural and spiritual war going on in America, and it's never been a better time to show where you stand. Also, the 250th anniversary of America. It is 2 months away. 2 months from the 250th anniversary. You are gonna want to get stuff from Max Associates, because you can get this same stuff at other places, not the best stuff, only the generic shit. You can get the generic shit at other places, but you won't get 20% off and you won't get free shipping. So make sure you go to maxassociates.etsy.com. Also, guys, make sure you follow us on X, YouTube, Rumble, Kick, and Instagram. Secret America TV. That is our screen name for every single one of those. We are live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Our next show this coming Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you follow us, and you can follow Jay on TikTok at Opinions Vary. Opinions Vary with an A. So make sure you guys follow us, and just make sure you guys check it out, and also go to maxassociates.etsy.com. We really appreciate everyone that watched the show today. For Jay Gatling, I am Jack Danger. Thank you for watching Secret America.
You've been listening to Secret America.